Hello. Here to talk WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania 39, 2023, Night 1, with a bit of WWE 2K23 sprinkled in. Crowd was hot! So hot! One of those stadiums, semi-open air, I think. The SoFi Stadium had some sort of, some kind of half-roof kind of thing. But you usually lose a lot of that crowd noise on TV, but man, that crowd, hot! Especially for the opening match with this guy. I did not go to the wrestling. It was in California, Hollywood. I was watching from my couch in England. Thoroughly good night. Watch it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Well, speaking of the worst that can happen, let's check out the new 2K23 game. Interesting they added that school thing there, because we had some great matches at school. In the press conference after Kevin said how much praise the Usos deserve for their in-ring work, and they really do. They've been on top of their game for such a long time now. You know, shame about the DUIs, but apart from that, I agree. They're just fantastic workers. I think the whole Bloodline stuff has been amazing. Obviously, they've been a big part of that. Cena showcase, surely. You know, to celebrate the big man coming back last night. Do genuine Americans, do they/you stand up, hand here, weeping for America the Beautiful? He never really left, and now he's back. He's a new employee of WWE, the company, is Vince McMahon, and he's got a new hair color and a new mustache. Let's get it up on the screen. Just for inspiration for everyone who's, just trying to grow some facial hair or just wants inspiration in life. You can achieve your dreams because look what Vince McMahon's achieved. Yeah. I do not know who you mean. Who is this Vince McMahon with the sexual assault charges? It cannot be me. I have the mustache. But yeah, a really fun Mania and a lot of happy endings. Just like I hear you like your massages. No Vince bullshit endings on any of them. Or maybe he's going to force his way there tonight, because it was reported yesterday that not only was he there, obviously, he was in gorilla. He was in the gorilla position. Yeah, nice to see Cena look really pale. I think if you've ever been a wrestler that's fake tanned, probably gonna have to do it forever, because then all of a sudden you're like, is he well? Is he okay? Do you think Vince is like, do you think he actually wants to appropriate the sale that happens? Or do you think he wants to keep it from being sold at all? This has been the most interesting thing with Vince over the years. He's never been predictable. He's always been mental, sometimes very disappointing, but you don't actually know what he's going to do. I suspected for a long time that he would rather kill the company, like in that NWO storyline, than hand it over to anyone else, whether it be through a sale or just to his offspring. Nick Khan, the guy, junior vice president or whatever his title is, he's the one who's putting all this gross sponsorship. He's sneaking it in, because they advertised the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match ahead of time, but all of a sudden the match that had a really good build, Rey Mysterio and Dominic, all of a sudden it was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsored match. There was just Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsorship everywhere, and I'm like, Also, right before the main event, it was all of a sudden, here's a tax advert, and you're like, fuck off, because they're making the most money they've ever made. They don't need all of this extra money. I mean, I know it's a business, blah blah blah, but like, it's always just money. You should see the ring when it's because it's covered in the LEDs. At a moment's notice, it can be covered in any branding you want, and all of a sudden there's this garish pink Cinnamon Toast Crunch branding all over the turnbuckles, the ring apron, the outside. And Meltzer said that there were going to be sponsorships coming to wrestling, like there are in other sports events like this. But obviously, let's be honest, it's gross. It's disgusting. Because no one likes ads, and like I said, they're not some struggling company. Obviously, as ever, the WrestleMania stage was incredible. Ginormous and terrifying ramp height that if you're going to fall off that, you're dead. Instantly dead. Obviously, WWE have one of the best production crews in the world, because I've seen them take apart these sets, and they do it in record time. It's nuts. Winning is great, but completing objectives... That's so Cena. Winning is great, but I don't actually care about wins and losses, because I'm John Cena. I'll just laugh them all off and win another belt. Who cares? But yeah, and also Daytime Mania I think is really cool, because wrestling obviously is mostly in the dark or indoors, And wrestling when it looks different is really cool to me. Let's get into this. Theory Cena was your opener. Theory's a weird one, man. The problem is he was Vince's chosen guy to be forced down everyone's throats, like Tom Phillips. Is he bad in the ring? No. Is he bad on the mic? No. I always think that he's short, but he's not. You know, next to Cena, he looked as big or not bigger, certainly more like jacked. But yeah, he also did this Austin Theory. He did this standing blockbuster off just like the ring mat, and it looked really, really great. Standard Cena match. Cena goes to the AA, ref bump, low blow from Theory, and then the A-Town down to retain the US title. And I gotta say, I enjoy John Cena's acting work. I like him as Peacemaker. And I think he's more convincing as a human being than alien PR robot man, The Rock. Let's go Cena. Great to hear the Cena sucks, even though everyone's like happy to see him now. You know, slightly dead behind the eyes, but also you can tell he does love wrestling because he doesn't need to do matches anymore. And, you know, especially now in his career, he's coming back, putting someone over. So fair play. But yeah, crowd was super hot for the opener with Austin and Cena, because why wouldn't it be? Let's not forget that the pandemic era of wrestling wasn't that long ago. John Cena's veins in 4K were terrifying, but I'm not going to say anything about his hair. No need. But yeah, short match, that's all you needed. And hot crowd. Good stuff. 4-way tag match as well. Hot. Pretty good. Some amazing shooting star presses from Ricochet, and then an amazing countered shooting star press from Ricochet by the Street Profits. Dawkins got the knees up, and then Ford comes off the ropes with a huge splash onto Ricochet, who's still on the knees. It was an amazing finish. The classic WrestleMania sponsorship from Snickers. But also WrestleMania was sponsored by 2K23, this game. How did they manage that? How did they get that sponsorship? Oh man, that Tony Khan. He's got that business acumen. This is going great. I might have to drop it down. Oh, yes! I was hoping we would see some bugs. What's his finisher from the ground? Has he got that weird Tiger Driver thing? No, not in this. Sure. I mean, yeah. That was Jerry Lynn's Cradle Pile Driver. But sure, give it to RVD. Don't do your research. Why bother? Yeah, don't really like a Tower of Doom spots, but this one was great because Ricochet came off the top to take them all down. That was wonderful. And Spot Monkey Braun Strowman comes off the top rope with a pretty big splash. Good for him. Yeah, even though there wasn't much bullshit in between matches, there's still too much. Like, I'm glad that you're playing adverts for the tier who don't pay. But then we still basically watch adverts with all these video packages. But it wasn't too bad. And yeah, the finish was really great. Also, there was a Chaos Theory suplex from Gable to Strowman. I was watching Doug Williams in the UK in like 2002, and that move was just insane then, and Gable does it wonderfully, especially on someone as big as Strowman. Can we give Gable a singles run, please? Just one decent run, please, because he's amazing. And that brings us to Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. And that Logan Paul, I mean, what can you say? Some people are naturals at the craft of wrestling, and he's really, really good at it and really, really athletic. And I hate saying that, so here's the compliment sandwich to Logan Paul. Fuck you. He's really good at pro wrestling. Fuck you. Reality, compliment, reality, sandwich. KSI is an absolute cunt as well. So obviously they make a great team. But what is this, the start of the YouTube invasion of wrestlers? Are we going to have like fucking Keemstar being a manager for these guys? Where does it end? But yeah, KSI, whatever his real name is, Bellend, Logan Paul, dickhead. But my god, right, so Logan Paul does this jump up to the top rope for a moonsault that just looks incredible. And obviously we've all watched a lot of wrestling, and Logan Paul's spots are amazing. And he's a better heel than a lot of heels we've seen over the years. Just a natural, infuriating though. And I guess when you've had like a privileged upbringing, yes, you can achieve anything. I don't want to mention any of the brand names apart from delicious Snickers. The tax advert was infuriating. Anything that Logan Paul and KSI are promoting is infuriating. Obviously, Paul, though, he is going to bring a lot of eyes to the product, though, right? Obviously, it's good to see KSI get splashed, but sure he didn't feel a thing wrapped up in that padding. Did he wear that kind of amount of armor when he did his boxing matches? Every time Logan Paul hits that perfect buckshot lariat, one of CM Punk's tattoos fades in color, just a little bit. And then he does the GTS as well. Bring all the YouTubers in. Jack, Septic Eye, PewDiePie. Stick them like in the light heavyweight division. And don't stop there. Like, brand every wrestler with this new advertising thing. Give them all LED gear so you can change it to the tax fund, whatever the fuck it was, whenever you like. It's just genius. Edge, save me. That's fine. Of course, we've got Edge tonight against Balor in a Hell in the Cell. Now, they have dropped the Hell in the Cell branded pay-per-view, which I think is a very good thing. Drop all those branded pay-per-views so we can have those matches when needed and not annually. But yeah, honestly, fuck KSI and fuck Logan Paul. I just want to make that very clear. And I don't think Logan Paul should be kicking out of a pedigree. Do you know, I mean, all these other moves, I'm like, yeah, fair game wrestling match. But I'm like, pedigree, that's like, it's Triple H's move. That's like an Attitude Era move. And Logan Paul, he's just a civilian. He's just a really, really, really wealthy civilian. At first I was like, oh no, I've got to enjoy WrestleMania through broken Twitter now with this double-feeded bullshit. Musk has fundamentally broken Twitter, introducing this pay thing, getting rid of all the legacy verified accounts, like taking away features, taking away basic functionality, putting it behind a paywall. Billionaire cunt buys Twitter, and yet we have to pay for it. I don't understand. I get like a degree in economics, but like, can someone explain it to me? Seth Rollins does a stomp on Paul's hand on the steps. And Michael Cole goes, oh, there's a reason why they call him the architect. I'm like, what is that reason, Michael Cole? He designed any buildings lately? I mean, I know he's like the planner of like the Shield. He didn't start the group. He's the architect of nothing. And that laugh, oh, they put it in like adverts and everything. I hate it. It's go away heat for me. I think his song that everyone sings along is rubbish. It like doesn't hold a candle to Nakamura. Same with like McAfee's Seven Nation Army ripoff. But yeah, Seth counters a coast to coast with a super kick, and then Michael Cole just goes stomp. Michael Cole just goes stomp. So it's not even the stomp anymore. That's what we've got. It's just stomp. It's just not even a stomp. Stomp. Can we give it a name? I always thought curve stomp was great because it's curve, not curb. But the stomp, a stomp, stomp. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky after that. I saw that Trish was trending and some of those comments were interesting if you want to go read those. Too long for the Damage Control match, but it wasn't bad. Great assisted, that Trish kind of handspring leg scissors she does off the bottom rope. She did a good assisted one on the outside, it was really cool. Becky wins with Brett's rope manhandle slam. You know, fine. Bit too long, but fine. But yeah, like I said, Dominic Ray, great build. It's been long, and Dom's growth as a heel has just been fantastic. He's got real heat, and whoever came up with the prison Dom stuff gets an applause from me. So I hope it's not Michael Hayes. Young Dom looks like he's aged about 5 years in the last 1 year when they showed us that early footage. Great hype vid. No one does them like WWE, and AEW are getting better, but they need to get even better than that with their hype videos. So they don't do them enough. They're not bad. When they do them, just do them more, alright? Yeah, Bad Bunny on Spanish commentary. He's like a character in this game, and that's what I'm talking about. Where does it end? All these civilians like just being really good at wrestling, going toe to toe with like wrestlers. But that's been Shane McMahon's problem for like the last portion of his career. Dominic had this great video beforehand of him like coming out of prison, just like MC Grinder. He was only in there for like two stretch. Dom comes out with the Halloween Havoc '97 Rey Mysterio mask on, and Cole was on form tonight, I have to say, especially considering the fact that he is Michael Cole. talking about how you can't just wear a luchador's mask, like you need to earn that, and he hasn't earned that, and he wears it, he takes it off. But then, yeah, Ray comes out in the lowrider with Snoop Dogg wearing a Muta tribute mask. They're playing nothing but a G-Thang, and I'm like, this is amazing. And then Eddie Guerrero's theme played, and to hear Eddie's theme after that was great, got a bit emotional. But it's just amazing that the Eddie love continues, and well deserved. I didn't appreciate him enough. Certainly not when he first started in 2000, and that was my first year of being a proper fan, so I didn't know anything. But even though I didn't know how good he was in ring at first, the gimmick with China was just magic. And come 2005, and then that's why he's never forgotten, and like is more lauded than ever as time goes on, because he was taken away from us in his prime. Tragic legend. Fantastic stuff. Breaking news, apparently the Fed is being sold to Endeavour Group. No fucking way, Poogles. Are you shitting me, man? What? Poogles, can we get a secondary source on this? Is this literally... Oh, thank God it's not the Saudis. Endeavour Group. Interesting. Well, they'll certainly keep Vince on top. The Vince McMahon era is back! That's insane. I can't believe that's happened while we're live on stream talking about WrestleMania and doing a wrestling stream. Also, Dominic was cuffed with the prison guards. It was wonderful. It really was. And then it turned into the Cinnamon Toast Crunch branded match, and it took away a lot from me. I'm not going to lie. It was disappointing, because all of a sudden the focus on Twitter, in my mind, is on the cereal Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And there was a giant Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot on stage with Ray. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a blood feud. What are you doing? Put that in the Damage Control match, if you must, which you don't need to. You're making more money than ever. It's just that old capitalism thing again. That's all. But as far as the match itself, Priest and Balor came out for a bit. The Latino World Order came out for a bit. Now, people are saying that group was bad in the first place. And that's when it's a good time to do a remake. And Nostalgia, of course, is big business. And might as well do like a good LWO run. That ad for the tax program right off the... Dude, we've been talking about that. It's gross, isn't it? It's gross. And that happened during Kevin's WrestleMania entrance when he was going against Jericho after their great build. They cut to some YouTuber. Again, the YouTuber's taken over wrestling. Yay! And also, before that main event, we got to sit through a Miz Pat McAfee match. No. And then I was like, when Little Uzi Vert came out, I was like, fuck this, because it was really late over here and I was tired. Thank God it wasn't long. But my word. Sometimes, you can't call an audible with that. But just, yeah. Anyway, Ray wins with a 619 and Frog Splash. Dominic threw a drink over Aaliyah. Great family drama, brought to you by a cereal. Corey Graves calls the victory bittersweet, but the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch is anything but. It's perfectly sweet, delicious, and available now. Sammy's objections to Kevin eating a Snickers and mentioning Snickers to the press conference was great. I love that, like, hippies, guys like Brian, like Sammy, get to where they are. It's wonderful. I think that's a pretty good deal, especially if they can get rid of Vince, but they won't, Poogles. They'll put Vince right on top, man. Because he's there to facilitate this sale. RVD's waiting for it, as you can see. There we go. And Endeavour will put Vince right on the top. Vince and Dana from UFC, they're like that. Watch. Rhea Ripley versus Flair. Really, really good match. Charlotte took a German right in her face. Ouch. Got to do my moonsault. Shit. That's not how RVD takes DDTs. And speaking of RVD taking DDTs, Rhea took an excellent DDT. It was ridiculous. She sold like RVD. It was amazing. Straight down on the head. Fantastic. RVD. But yeah, Rhea Ripley saying, I want your SmackDown Women's Championship. Lame. Give them different names, because SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship is not a good name, in my humble opinion. Yeah, the Charlotte as well, coming out in a puffer jacket that me and my friends were all wearing in circa 2001. I had Helly Hansen on mine. It was at this time where I wrote in my notes that I am tired because it was 3:40 in the morning. That's when I don't want to see Little Uzi Vert. I don't want to see an impromptu Miz match. For the love of God. Charlotte kicks out of Riptide. It was at this point during the match that it was reported that Vince was in gorilla position. I was like, of course he is. He's putting those educated feet to good use. Yeah, Riptide off the second rope was insane. Fuck taking that bump. Grab your Mountain Dew. It's time for Miz and Snoop to announce a fake attendance. Then Pat McAfee has to come out for a match, and no one was interested. I mean, I could be wrong, but I certainly wasn't. Yeah, McAfee wins or something, who cares? I've written a footballer got involved, you know, whatever. But that was main event time. Except it wasn't. It was main event time, which included the video package, a few entrances, and then a tax ad. Thank you, Nick Khan. Can't wait to see what Endeavour do with you. Every match is going to have a gross sponsorship plastered around the ring at a moment's notice. What a time to be alive. But with WWE getting rid of all the CFO $ songs like Asuka's, it's amazing to hear Kevin and Sammy have their classic themes because they're both great and both so over. Ah, great move. That's when RVD is at his peak, isn't it? Selling, involving his head and neck. No one does it like him. But Rhea came close with that DDT sell, I have to say. PWG logos on their gear, you know, fight in Kevin's, and the Arabic text in Sammy's, just awesome. Kevin Owens had the Super Dragon mask on his pants as well. Super Dragon! And Michael Cole drops an El Generico reference. Said El Generico would have been proud of that one. We didn't get the top rope brainbuster, which I was really hoping for, but Sammy did a kind of variation of it on the ring apron. The hardest part of the ring. Reseda name drops, not Pro Wrestling Gorilla by the commentators, but like I said, Michael Cole mentioned El Generico. Yeah, incredible exploder. Roof comes off SoFi Stadium for tag to Kevin. Feels like it's over with the stunner, but no. Sammy has to do the brainbuster to win. I wrote, but that didn't happen. Or Kevin with the package pile driver. Again, didn't happen. But they were getting me because I was like, obviously Kevin and Sammy are going to win. But there were some near falls where I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, it was amazing when you're so sure of the result in a wrestling match, but they can still get you. It's the magic, just like that move from RVD. What the hell was that? Big pop for KO kicking out of the double Uso splash. Again, because they're telling such a great story that you think it might be over at any moment. We hear a lot of chat between Kevin and Jay, and that mic gets muted real quick. Crowd wants that tag to Sammy real bad, and then we get the triple helluva, milks it, KO covers with the stunner, pins, wins, incredible. But the great thing about Kevin and Sammy, it's another one of those incredible underdog victories in WWE, because even when they got signed, they were never what Vince wanted. It was never guaranteed they would get over, let alone be given a shot. And look at them now. Look at them tonight. Headlining. What a victory. Perfect headlining slot for night one when you've got Cody and Roman tonight. Great stuff. But guys, thank you for being here tonight for my WrestleMania Night 1 reactions recap. Brought to you by some tax company and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.